The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for this day.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
What was the argument about? It's always something really stupid, isn't it?
To me, yeah.
It's either embarrassing, and that's why you're both smiling and looking down, or it's so stupid that it's embarrassing to say in public.
This is the plaintiff, Barbara Rodriguez. She says she and the defendant have been best friends since kindergarten, and she can't believe it's come to this, an actual lawsuit. The defendant didn't have the money to attend her wedding in the Dominican Republic, so she loaned her what she needed to make the trip. This past summer, they had a terrible fight, and that's when she said she wasn't going to pay her the money she owed her, and to basically bug off. Bug off? Ha! She's suing for $936.40, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Courtney Booker. She says the plaintiff told her she wanted her to be the maid of honor at her wedding, and she told the plaintiff she couldn't afford to make the trip because money was tight. The plaintiff really wanted her there, so she offered to pay for the airfare and hotel, and she agreed to go. After they got into a big fight over the summer, the plaintiff told her she now wanted to be paid back for the wedding and was going to take her to court to get her money. How's that fair? She's accused of breaking a bride's heart.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Barbara Rodriguez, you are suing your former friend Courtney Booker for $936.40 that you say she owes you on a trip that you fronted the money for, and she was supposed to pay you back. Tell me what's going on.
Well, I knew Courtney since kindergarten. We go way back.
Since kindergarten?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was getting married in 2011. I asked her.
How many friends do you each have since kindergarten?
Very few.
Very few.
Well,
Do you have another friend that you've known since kindergarten?
No.
Third grade, they're still my friends.
No, third grade doesn't count. I said
kindergarten? Nope.
And that is way back.
Yeah.
Third grade's back, but kindergarten's way back. So go on.
I asked her to be my maid of honor. She said yes. I asked her when the date was, the year. I asked her, it was all in 1 year. She said she wanted to do it, but she didn't have the money.
Because what money did she need? Your wedding wasn't here.
Right, I had a destination
wedding. It was in the Dominican
wedding.
Republic.
Right.
Okay.
So, you have to do air and hotel.
Right.
She wanted to do it. She said she didn't have the funds to do it. So I said, okay. She asked me if I can put it on my credit card. I said, okay. She said for her and her boyfriend at the current time.
Put both of them on your credit card?
Right.
Okay.
And she would make payments throughout.
Okay.
So I agreed. I said, okay. I did the booking.
But according to you, it was clear that she was going to pay you back?
Right.
Okay. Do you have any emails or texts or anything from that era?
Like I said, she's my best friend. I never think of to put something in writing or...
No, but how about an accidental text or email that maybe wasn't geared towards putting it in writing, but that would support what you're saying? Because you know what she's going to say, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this was what year?
2011.
Okay. And then what happens? You have your wedding.
I had my wedding. She went. We had a good time. She made a payment.
She made a payment of how much?
The first payment she made was $150.
And when was that?
In November.
Of what year?
2011.
All right. Is that amount accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Go on.
And then she said she'll pay me when she get her income tax.
Okay.
When her income tax came, she said she couldn't pay me. In 2012, her daughter's Sweet 16 was having, so she needed the money for that. Okay. So I said, okay, it's not a problem. She's my best friend. I lent her money before, and she has paid me back.
Okay.
So I don't see it like as a problem. Not
when did
rushing
it
you, my
become a
best
problem
friend.
where you decided you wanted to come to court about it?
When we had a big argument this year, and
Okay.
she just said, you're not getting nothing from me, and she's done.
What was the argument about? It's always something really stupid, isn't it?
To me, yes.
It's either embarrassing, and that's why you're both smiling and looking down, or it's so stupid that it's embarrassing to say in public. Go ahead.
What
was the argument about?
I don't even know how it really, like, to me, made a big deal. Like,
Was there alcohol involved?
No.
Okay. What happened?
We was away in D.C. and she just
on
said,
a trip together?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was just saying that she was tired of my nonsense. I think it wasn't even clear. I can't even get into details of how the whole argument.
Maybe I'll ask her. What was the problem with the two in D.C.?
Barbara and I, we've been friends forever, like she told you.
What was the problem
We went
in DC?
down to DC for a weekend. It was a party weekend that I was going to a meet and greet for the upcoming Essence Music Festival, people I were going with in July. She decided she wanted to go as well because she had a friend that she wanted to see that lived in that area. So her and her sister came along with me, and they pretty much ruined my entire weekend, and the itinerary kept changing. We were supposed to leave at 8 in the morning. We ended up leaving at 6 p.m. We were supposed to be me and Barbara. It ended up being Barbara, her sister, and their 2 children. Party weekend, adults drinking, party. They brought their children. Then we had to drive to Virginia, drop the children off at her sister's house. So I missed 2 of the 3 events from Friday, which I prepaid for. Barbara didn't want to pay, so
That's kind of inconsiderate.
I couldn't stay at the hotel. And
so you guys get into a big fight, and who leaves who in D.C.?
I ended up leaving her in D.C.
You just left her?
No. I left, went to the event, the one event I was able to make it to, and then I stayed with a friend instead of staying with her and her sister.
Right, but weren't you their ride back?
Listen, and that's where it comes in. That night, her sister texts me, and she says, "Are you still going to take us back? This is Saturday night now. We left on Friday. Saturday night." I said, "Well, I don't have a problem taking you guys back to New York." But Barbara knew Sunday I work 7 p.m. I work as a medic, have to get back to New York by 7 p.m. I said, "You guys can ride back with me, but I'm leaving at noon. So you get here by noon, we'll all leave." They said that was unreasonable because they had their children. Noon is too early. I know she's not a morning person. They wanted me to leave.
Noon? I mean, it's not like you're saying 7 a.m. Oh my God, I'm not noon. No, I'm not a morning person.
And then they said, "It's not fair." I said, "I've caught airplanes at 6 a.m. with my kids in tow. So if you can't make it there, I'm not driving back to Virginia to pick you up to bring you back to New York." Unfortunately, I had to find somewhere else to stay that night.
Okay.
So,
and according to you, she left you there.
I didn't leave.
But is it like she said?
No. First of all, she knew that we was coming with the kids. We were going to my sister's house, and she stayed at my sister's house. She made it to the event Friday night. By the way, I paid for gas and tolls. So I don't know what she paid for. She knew that this was going to happen.
Was it unreasonable to leave at noon when she had to work at 7?
That wasn't the problem. She cursed me out the whole Sunday. I told her.
Why?
We didn't speak.
Just a second.
Because she wanted to go somewhere Saturday, and she felt we was late. I told her to go ahead. She didn't want to. But anyway, Sunday was the day. Mind you, she's our driver. So how are we going to get to her? We're at my sister's house. We came in her car.
Yeah, how did you expect them to get to you?
When we got to D.C. on Friday night, her sister, they have cars. The guy she came to see, which wasn't her husband, picked her up. And
I don't know why I asked so many questions about it. I was trying to be a fly on the wall of the D.C. debacle, because that's what I want to know, the exact moment. I want to see if I can slow time down to the exact moment when how many years have you guys been friends?
I don't know, 33.
Woo!
33.
Friendship.
Well,
just went. I just want to see it. I got it. I see it. Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Why won't you pay this lady back?
Because I don't owe her the money.
If you don't owe her the money, why did you pay the November payment? Remember when I turned around a second ago and looked at you and said, "Is that amount right?" I asked that because I wanted to see if you would admit that you made the November payment. If you made a November payment of $150 after the wedding, how can you look me in the eye and tell me that it was a gift from her and not a loan?
No, not a gift. I'm going to explain to you now. Barbara, I was supposed to pay her. There was 2 people in the room. It was supposed to be me and his matron of honor, which was her husband's best friend. She decided she wasn't going. That's how the boyfriend came into play.
However,
So
whatever.
I was always supposed to be paid for. It was him that I was supposed to be paying her back for. My daughter's Sweet 16 was August.
The 900 and something that you're suing for involves what? Why would you make a payment then for him? Why didn't you let him make a payment? If you're going to look me in the eye and say, that's not my debt, that's his,
No,
how are you going to do that when you paid her the money?
Ma'am, that's not what I'm saying. I was due to pay half of the total. Not me, but I paid it to her on behalf of his half. I was responsible for half because she was paying for my trip.
Was she responsible for half?
No, why would I be?
She was paying for me. She always was. And it was me in a room along with someone else. In order for her not to lose the money, have to pay more because shouldn't even have covered half, but I thought that was reasonable, being how she would have to pay for that room regardless if it was 1 person in it or 2. I brought someone with me and I paid her $850 in total, which was more than half. I figured that was reasonable because of interest. And the only reason I made a payment to the credit card in November was because Barbara was out of work, she was sick, and she couldn't make her payment to the credit card company. So she asked me to pay it to them. All the rest of the money was paid to her. I had no reason to get it in writing and sign anything, just like she said. We've been friends for so long.
Did you pay back your boyfriend's airfare? And did you pay her for half of his hotel? That's what you said in your answer to the complaint.
Right.
But all you paid was $150.
No, I paid her. I paid $150 to the credit card company. I paid $150 to Liberty Travel prior to the trip, and I paid $550 in cash to Barbara.
Is that accurate?
She wants to.
Wait. Are those amounts accurate?
I have the 3 payments that she paid to my credit card,
which were
total of $600.
$600.
That's not what she's saying. And look at the total. I have the total of the trip.
Stop. Just give me the receipts. What I want from you, Ms. Booker, is give me the receipts of what you paid.
I don't have receipts for what I paid, but I have the total amount.
How could you not? I mean, that's the whole point. You're being sued about it.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So why do people, destroy relationships with best friends over just stupid little nothings, little arguments?
It was probably jealousy or envy. That's what I think.
But then that means there's this deep underlying dislike for the person to begin with. A lot of times you like somebody, but then all of a sudden you get mad because they didn't show up at the movies, and then you never talk to them again.
Well, I think maybe that if they care about each other a lot, some little things might tick them off and get them mad over stupid stuff.
But if it gets them mad and ticks them off, then you get over it, right? I mean, that's what I don't understand.
I mean,
You ever had a really good friend and you just got destroyed over something that's really kind of dumb?
it happened this week.
What happened? I'm curious.
Basically, she just put her. Oh, this is okay. Basically, we just had an argument over something stupid. And
Like what?
Her boyfriend, and it's never.
So you didn't even have a dog in the fight.
No.
Oh, why'd you do that? Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, she has 3 separate checks from you: $150, $250, and $200.
Right.
You don't even mention that.
Right. She's talking about. I'm talking about the cash that she's not mentioning.
Okay.
The total it paid to
Listen. You guys are a mess, okay? She's showing money that you didn't even talk about. If you're saying that you paid $550 directly to
because I don't remember exactly.
Oh, you don't remember what you paid.
I paid the credit card.
Okay, so the answer is you don't remember, and you have 3 checks. Do you have any evidence you want me to look at?
No, because the cash that I paid her, she's not admitting that was paid. This is the amount of the trip.
Did she pay you any cash? Show me what you do have. Did she pay you any cash?
She didn't pay me any cash.
Did she pay anybody any cash? Well, I don't like how you said that.
That's not
She didn't pay, not to my knowledge that she paid anything else.
Did she pay any Liberty Travelers? So Liberty Travel or anybody else any money?
That's the total amount. And I was only supposed to pay half because half was for me, half was for him. She was always paying for my trip.
Can you stop talking? Okay. This Liberty Travel receipt that she is showing me for $1,536.40.
Yes, that's what I have.
Okay. And that's what you paid on your credit card?
Yes.
Okay. And then her position is I'm only supposed to pay half because she was paying for me as the maid of honor. Is that true or untrue?
Not true.
Okay. And according to you, she was always supposed to pay, and it wasn't until recently when she said, you're never going to see any of that money.
Exactly.
Did you say you're never going to see any of that money to her in this trip?
Barbara blocked me into a parking spot and came out yelling and cursing at me and said to me, oh, the only reason I was offering to pay for you is because you were my friend. I thought you were a real friend. Now that you're not my friend, I don't feel I should have to pay that, and I'm going to sue you. That's exactly what happened. it's always been selfish issues with her, and that was just the last straw. It wasn't the one trip that made a little problem type of thing. We'd be here all day if I went to how many different situations.
Okay, but you confused me with Dr. Phil. I don't want to be here all day hearing about all your
That's
problems.
what I mean. We can't do that.
But here's the thing I do need to know. I have to get I have a lawsuit in front of me. I have to figure out which of you two is telling the truth. There's no winner or loser in this case, because as far as I am concerned, you both have lost something far more valuable than $900 and something. I mean, this is really, I can't, I don't know about you guys. I don't have a lot of friends I've known since kindergarten. I barely have a lot of friends I know since college. Okay, and as life goes on, because you're still young, as life goes on and it gets tougher and tougher, they become more and more important to your existence. And it's really kind of sad that you guys have ended up here. Put your hand down. You don't hear me talking?
Yeah.
Am I just saying things in my head?
No.
Because you're clearly not listening if you're thinking about what you want to say, and I want you to listen to me. It is so intensely sad that you have both ended up in front of me for me to call this one, as opposed to you two, at a minimum, working it out and then never talking to each other again. There was a world where you could have done that, where you could have said, out of deference to the 30 years that we've been friends and, we're just, for the sake of peace, let's figure this out. And if we don't want to be friends anymore because I think you're self-centered and you think I'm too uptight, then fine. Then you've grown your separate ways. But to let it get to the point where not only is there litigation, but litigation in front of me on the People's Court, that's a new kind of breakdown in a very long-term friendship. Now, what were you trying to interrupt me to say?
Sorry. I was saying I tried to call her after the incident, and she just went off and started cursing and saying all types of rude things to me, but I even tried to talk to her, like, it shouldn't be that serious. And she was in her rage. I guess, to me, I think she held something in for all these years, like she's just now admitting, but she never spoke.
Yeah, well, maybe
her
you're
feelings.
annoying. Maybe the idea of you being late all the time and imposing on other people's time is not okay. But maybe you should be, exactly. Maybe you should express yourself instead of blowing up 30 years later. But you know what? Again, I'm descending into a therapist that I do not want to be.
I do. She doesn't care about
based on what I have listened to, based on the fact that there was a payment in November, based on the fact that there was a payment in November, in January, in April, all of which was after you claimed to have paid this half of your boyfriend's.
In June.
I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $936.40.
Numbers are wrong.
Well, the plaintiff wins this case between two old friends. It's shocking to see two old friends in here like that.
It's sad, but the problem wasn't the money. The money never came into play until after we stopped being friends. I only was supposed to pay half. She was supposed to pay for my trip. She knows that, and she's mentioned that to several people. I don't want to bring them here all the way from another state.
Hey, if she was so annoying and everything, how'd you stay friends for so long?
We didn't see each other a lot. I was married, had small children. Her daughter's 4. Since she had her daughter, we started to be close again. We would go for years. I see her to bail her out of jail or pick her up from spending a night out drunk, but we would never hang out. We would hang out. We would see each other maybe 2 or 3 times a year. She just keeps saying this kindergarten thing. I'm her best friend. She was never my best friend.
All right. Documents are waiting for you down this way. All right, well, you got your money, but what do you make of all what she's saying?
She's just lying and she's upset. Something wrong with her. We have been friends since kindergarten. She knows she was supposed to pay me the money, and that's it. Like, she's making up all these stories to convince other people, but it's not true. She knew I was a good friend. That's why she's been around this long. And
are you saying something's changed? She's changed?
She's changed. She's changed big time. I've been there for her. We have,
What's changed to her? What's happened? Do you think?
I don't know. I think for all these years, how she claimed she holds feelings in, and now she's just bursting out and trying to perceive me to be some type of person that I'm not. She knows I'm a good friend. That's why we've been around for all these years that we have.
All right, over to Harvey.
Here's the key here. When money changes hands, it doesn't matter which way, both sides should keep a ledger on who pays back what to whom, period. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
All right, listen up, nacho chips. Quiet down, crispy potatoes. This is the moment Velveeta's been preparing you for, and you're not about to crack under pressure. Today's the day to go all in on the drip. Velveeta's Heat and Eat Queso is the MVP of any game day spread, so stick by them, and you'll be golden. Now get out there and make delicious history. No tailgate party is complete without Velveeta.
This is the plaintiff, Lillian Wood. She says she purchased 2 air conditioners from the defendant, and the moment they were installed, it was like it was raining outside. Water poured out from the units onto her windowsill, corroding it and the surrounding bricks on the building. When she called the defendant to complain, all he did was give her the royal runaround. How dare he? She's suing the frigid guy for the $1,147.71. She's out. This is the defendant, Richard Bellavina. He says air conditioners leak water when it's hot out due to condensation, and the water's directed out of the unit by a hose. The plaintiff received the air conditioners, signed off on the installation, and then complained water was dripping onto the bricks outside her building. Bricks are made to withstand rain, snow, and ice, so he doesn't know what the woman's beef is. Bottom line, he did everything by the book, and the plaintiff's just looking to get her money back. He's accused of chilling out a customer.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff bought 2 air conditioners from the defendant, and the leaky water flooded and damaged her unit. But the defendant says it was just what air conditioners do. It's the case of Chill Out Lady.
Thank you, Douglas. Lillian Wood. Oh, don't you sit down. We need you. You are suing EBA Wholesale Corporation, represented here by Richard Bellavina.
Yes.
Okay. You are the general manager, and you have authority to be here from the owner?
Yes, I do.
All righty. For $1,147.71 in what you paid for 2 ACs plus warranties, and also the amount that you paid for a service call. Tell me what happened.
On June 4th, I purchased 2 Frigidaire air conditioners. On June 6th, they came and installed them. And they stopped raining water from the very beginning.
What do you mean by raining water?
When you turn them on, water was just running down the walls. Just
where? Inside of your apartment?
First, it was running outside the apartment, all the way down outside the apartment. I called them to tell them about it, that the water was running down, and they told me that, well, air conditioners leak, and that's what they do. But I said, no, this is just terrible. And then when I went upstairs, I found that the window seals I didn't know the window seals was all wet. They were wet, and all the walls inside were wet.
Do you have any proof of what you're saying?
No, with the exception that I kept calling. I started calling.
No, I know, but this is the first I've heard that there was water on the inside. Your complaint have you ever heard that there was water on the inside?
I have not, Your Honor.
Okay, your complaint didn't state that. And so I would love to see pictures. Typically, someone in your position proves this by showing me the pictures or video.
Well, I didn't know that I had to do anything because I went back to the company. I went back to EBA. I called Frigidaire. I called EBA. I called them 10 or 15 times to come out and see what was wrong. And they indicated, Frigidaire said, well...
Okay, I'm going to read to you your complaint. Water poured from the air conditioner onto my windowsills and the bricks on the side of my building. Never do you say anything about water on the inside of your apartment. That's kind of important if it happened. And if you didn't mention it, you're not just saying that now,
no,
right?
No, the water wasn't... I didn't notice that water was inside from the beginning.
Well, you wrote this complaint at the end, not at the beginning. You filed your lawsuit at the end. According to you, in the lawsuit, there's water running down the bricks on the outside. You called them how soon after the installation?
I started calling them around a few days after the installation, after the 6th.
Installation. And then you go out and you do a repair when?
We tried getting out earlier, but because of her schedule, we could not go out until July 25th.
Who actually went out?
A company called HDS, they're an installation company. I provided a statement from them for you.
Okay, may I have that statement? Who are the gentlemen with you, moral support or witnesses?
Witnesses, Your Honor.
What are they witnesses to?
One is my general manager, one is my customer service manager who dealt directly with the consumer, and the other gentleman is an air conditioner expert to explain about how the air conditioner properly works.
Okay, according to this company, this is a company you sub the repairs to?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, they say that the installation was complete. Are they the ones who installed it?
Yes, they are.
The installation was completed in accordance to the manufacturer's. They're here to testify that they did everything right. Okay, the manufacturer's specifications. Blah, blah, blah. She contacted EBA Wholesale about leaking and dripping on the exterior of the building. So we returned and attempted to satisfy the customer by redirecting the condensation via tubing. They redirected it where?
On the outside.
Where? To where? Like from here to there? Like where?
To another location, but still on the bricks. And that, when the product was installed, I have that it was signed for in good condition.
Well, she doesn't know about it. You know, what I need to determine is if there was something faulty about this installation, or if there's something faulty about these ACs. To make additional in September, we returned to make additional adjustments in an attempt to satisfy her. She signed for the additional work, and there was no charge for that service. The first work there was a $120 fee for.
$125 fee.
And you paid that?
Yes, I paid that, but they came out 3 times.
Okay.
The $120 was paid the second time they came out.
Okay.
And I have the holes that they, I have the holes.
Do you have a picture of what you say was wrong? Let me rephrase it. Do you have any proof at all about what you say was wrong? Did you get an AC company to come and say it was installed improperly, or a picture or video of what you're complaining about? Anything?
No, because I was calling EBA and they were coming out, and I was confident that they were going to fix it. But when they came out the 3rd time, may I have the holes here. I have the holes here that they installed the first time. This is the holes that they bought and they cut. And they cut it and they attach it to each window.
Let me see that.
And it just
Is this what's normally used? Come on, AC man. Is this what's normally used?
Yes.
Not like copper or something else?
Copper drains are excessive in this situation. Copper drains are used in corrosive environments.
Okay.
But that usually does the trick. What you want to do is divert it away from the ledge or any obvious penetrations or obstacles that would cause it to run back in.
Okay.
Just getting it to run down and away is fine.
Okay. What happens to people walking, all those city dwellers out there who are just walking like, I hope it wasn't a bird, you know? Like,
well, you know what it is?
It's part of living in the city.
That's exactly it. If you look at any restaurant, pizzeria.
How much water are we talking about?
Depending on the size, a pint an hour could be up to a quart an hour on a very humid day. A lot of variables. Depends on the day, size of unit.
Her unit was where? Like, what's beneath?
I'm not sure what's beneath.
Nobody who's here in front of me actually is the person who went there, right?
No. But the product is doing exactly what it needs to do. An air conditioner cools the air, cleans the air, and extracts the moisture from within the home and gets it to the outside.
Is that why there's condensation? Why is there condensation?
Exactly. Humidity is removed from the air in order to make it comfortable. It has to go somewhere.
Okay, is it normal for these air conditioners to leak outside?
Yeah, man, it's normal, you know. It runs on a little water thing with like pressure. Leaks out water when it's cold.
Little water thing with pressure. Oh, I get the science of it now. What do you think? Is it normal for it to actually leak outside?
Yes, sir. I have an air conditioner at my house, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, it does the same thing. So, I mean, it's brand new as well.
But doesn't it seem a little bit like a design defect when it leaks outside?
I wouldn't know. I have no experience with that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Are those ACs working today?
Oh, no, I finally took them out. I just took them out of the windows.
Where'd you put them?
I got them in the box, hoping, I don't know. I have them in the box.
Well, I know you took him out because it's winter, or you took him out?
Well, I took him out, yes, because it's winter and the wind was coming in, and it was no use trying to cover them to keep the wind out of the house because they operated so poorly. So I just took them out and put them back into the box.
Is your complaint that they operate poorly or that they leak outside?
They leak, not that they operate poorly, that they leak, and so much water was spoiling my bricks, and the water is running down from one floor to another floor, landing on the ledge, and then sitting there and running, and inside the house too. Inside, and that's when I had to pass.
I just say, the problem I'm having, Ms. Wood, is that I just need proof of what you're saying. I mean, air conditioners leak, they all leak. They're taking out the condensation, that's how it works. If it's happening in a way that's inappropriate and damaging your property, that's different. The problem that I have is that the only evidence in front of me is, and I realize it's a little self-serving, but it's the only evidence in front of me, is that they've redirected it and they don't know what else to do for you. Air conditioners, extract water. All I need from you is what I need from every plaintiff who files a lawsuit. You have to prove the case. You can't just say, but I called them a bunch of times. I know you called them a bunch of times, but I have to determine if you're right or they're right. And the only way to do it is to have evidence from you, which means you show me a picture or a video of it working poorly, you at least, or better, you give me evidence from another AC company saying there's a problem with the AC or there's a problem with the way it was with something. But you can't just come in and say, according to my professional opinion, it's not done right. Or maybe you bring me something from a brick guy saying it's ruining her brick. Just anything. I'm begging you, just one tiny piece of evidence for me to turn around and order them to pay you a couple $1,000s and make them return these units. But with what you're giving me, you're tying my hands. All right, based on what's in front of me, I cannot order them to refund your money, ma'am. I'm sorry, I just can't. I would need to have the things we've discussed before, which would constitute evidence that there was some wrongdoing in either the way it was installed or in the units themselves, and I just don't see it. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
All right, so let's see what the plaintiff has to say. If you just come in here next to me here and tell me what's your reaction to the verdict here. The judge's hands were tied because of the lack of evidence you didn't bring.
I didn't. These things are up on the second and third floor all the way up. I had no way of really getting pictures. I never knew I needed pictures or anything.
Well, how are you going to win a case without some kind of evidence other than just your word?
Well, I was writing. I called for 6 weeks, calling every other day and complaining, and I visited. I went to EBA several times.
You couldn't get a picture or a witness or something? No?
I didn't know.
All right, well, all right, sorry about that. So head around the corner there, okay, with Officer McIntosh, and you come on in here, and that's not a very satisfied customer right there.
Not a very satisfied customer. Wish that we could help her further, but there's just this non-understanding of the way the product works.
What about water on the windowsill and inside?
Never heard anything about that until moments ago.
You don't believe that part of the story?
I don't. I think it would have been mentioned much earlier in the situation. It would have given us a different way to look at it. But everything always dealt with the exterior.
Good AC guy. Harvey?
You know, we get these cases a lot where people come into court and they say, look, I want you to look at me and I want you to understand how honest I am, and I'm going to give you my word that this is what happened. When you have a case where you need physical evidence or documents or something like that, your word doesn't cut it, almost never cuts it. Judges aren't going to say, well, God, you look like an honest person, so I'm going to rule for you. You need to back it up with some firepower, and the firepower is usually some kind of document, witness, expert, something like that. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case are the way into the courtroom right now.
Purina believes no one should have to make the impossible choice between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
This is the plaintiff, Gregory Christensen. He says he bought a Wave Runner watercraft from the defendant, and the guy still hasn't provided him with the proper paperwork so he can get it properly registered. Now he's got a Wave Runner sitting in his front yard. He can't use it and he can't sell it. The defendant's ignoring him, but he can't run on the long arm of the law, so he's dragging him into court to get back the $350 he gave him for the useless thing. This is the defendant, Rick Brown. He says this is all a big excuse because the plaintiff doesn't want to put the required work into the watercraft to get it seaworthy. Bottom line, he gave him all the proper paperwork, and this is nothing more than buyer's remorse, so he owes the guy zilch. He's accused of rocking the boat.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff bought a Wave Runner from the defendant, but can't get it registered. The defendant says the plaintiff is just lazy and doesn't want to do the hard work to own a watercraft. It's the case of, I can only wave to my runner.
Thank you, Douglas. Gregory Christensen, you are suing Rick Brown for $350 that you want returned to you, the cost of a Wave Runner, because he failed to supply proper paperwork for you to title it. Tell me what's going on.
I met with him, purchased the Wave Runner.
How did you find out about the sale of the Wave Runner?
Craigslist.
Okay. Craigslist makes the world go round. Keeps us in business. Go ahead.
So
There's a lot of good things, too. I'm just saying we just...
Right. So I met up with him at his house, looked at the Wave Runner. We came to an agreement. I purchased it. He
For how much?
$350.
Okay.
I showed him the... what was required to register it in the state of New Jersey.
Okay.
He showed me
Meaning?
the paperwork that he had required by motor vehicle, and I said, well, that's not going to work.
And what paperwork did he have?
I have a copy of it right here. And the paperwork that he has is from the person that he bought the Wave Runner from.
Okay, so the paperwork he had was from a person named Stephen,
right,
who you bought it from?
Yes.
So this is actually the bill of sale from your purchase of it.
Okay.
All right, and you told him that's not going to be enough because it's jumping title. It's not in your name.
Exactly.
The bill of sale is in your name.
Right.
And so we're going to have to get this gentleman, the person you bought it from, to do other paperwork or whatever. So you tell him that because you spot the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says what?
He said that he would be more than happy to, to do whatever paperwork needs to be done.
And what needed to be done? Did you know on the spot what you needed done?
Uh-huh.
What did you tell him needed done?
I told him that he would have to go back to the person that he...
To this person,
right,
and get a...
And he would have to get this form filled out.
Okay.
Which is required by the New Jersey Motor Vehicle.
Did you happen to have that form in your pocket? How did you tell him that?
I know how it works.
I know you know, but how did you tell him that day? Because you're finding all this out right in the spot where you're buying it. So did you happen to have one of these forms with you, or you told him where to get it?
You can get them.
Bill of sale for non-titled vehicle. So you told him what I'm going to need is a bill of sale for non-titled vehicle.
And what's required in the state of New Jersey is it has to have the VIN number of the watercraft, the date of sale, the owner.
A lot more information than this thing had.
Right.
And for it to be bill of sale from that guy to you, or that guy to him, or him to you.
Well,
that's kind of hairy too, because you're kind of lying in order to get it done to have
the
it
way
from
it
that
should
guy
be
to
done
you.
is it should be transferred to him and then transferred to me.
All right. And did you tell him all this before you gave him the money?
Mm-hmm.
Or after you gave him the money?
Well, when we did.
And what was he saying to you at that time?
He said that he would supply whatever I needed.
Who did you buy it from? Somebody you know, or somebody?
I got it off of Craigslist as well.
Okay, and then why did you buy it?
It was as is, it was cheap. And I went up, I looked at it. The guy didn't have registration on it, he couldn't find it that day. So we went to a bank and he wrote up this paperwork and got it notarized. I assumed that would be good enough for me.
So why did you sell it?
Because I had it sitting in the woods for 2 years and didn't feel like fixing it.
Okay.
And got a new Wave Runner in the meantime.
Okay.
So I decided to put it back on Craigslist to get rid of it. and posted it and sold it as is, the way I bought it.
Right. Let me ask you a question, though. Did he talk to you about the kind of forms he needed filled out and what he would need you to do and all that stuff?
Yeah, I was going away, actually, that week when I met with him. So the following week, he said he was going to go to motor vehicle, go down, find out exactly what we needed to do. And I said, okay, give me a call, whatever, if I need to meet you down here and sign it over to you. And then however it has to get done, we'll take care of it that way.
Right.
Then
So
he
what
told
went
me
wrong?
that I needed to get in this guy's driver's license number. It's been a runaround. I can't get in touch with this guy.
Is it too dicey to buy stuff on Craigslist? Just especially expensive stuff.
It is, because you never know what kind of person is trying to sell to you. It could be a scam, it could be,
Well, that's true, but then how do you protect yourself when you buy on Craigslist?
That's why you go and ask them if you can meet up someplace close and you see the product and what it is and see if it's good or
A
not.
lot of time you look at something and you think, oh, that's going to be really good, and it's not, because inside it's no good.
Yeah, but it's also the responsibility of the person to take their own risk. So it kind of depends on them if they're willing to take the risk or not.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
So, but he can't register it.
I don't know.
No,
Like
I know
said-
he can't.
Okay,
and
that's the
he
only
did
paper-
have, he didn't want it in order to be a paperweight in the woods like you did. He
Pretty
wanted
much.
to fix it and be able to run it. And in order to run it in the state of New Jersey, you have to register it, and you can't register it. So I'm a big fan of as is. And as is. And if he was complaining about the state of it, it'd be different. But what he's complaining about is it isn't a vehicle. It's not a, I don't know if you'd call this a vessel or a vehicle. But it's not, I can't use it. I can't use it because I can't register it. And it's not as though this is something he brought up weeks after he bought it. He brought it up that day that, look, we're going to have a problem with your paperwork. I'll buy it, but you got to straighten out the paperwork. Everybody knew there was a paperwork pending issue. And if you can't reach a guy, I understand, but I understand him too. I mean, you understand him too, right? This isn't a, I don't like how it looks, I don't like how it runs. This is a, oh my gosh, I told you this that day. You said don't worry, and as it turns out, we all have to worry. So I believe that was part of the deal. I'm gonna undo the deal and order you to pay back his $350. Of course, the wave runner is his now, because that's what's happening.
No.
It's $350 back to the plaintiff, and it'll be your responsibility to get the wave runner. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Man, this defendant just cannot get rid of this thing, can you?
No.
It's coming back again.
Yeah, hey, I bought it, and I thought that the notarized thing was the right way to purchase it, so that's the route I went.
All right, well, you learned otherwise from the judge. You're going to get the thing back, and you're going to do what now with it?
Probably make it a paperweight in the woods, like she said.
Is there any way you can get this paper?
I don't know.
That you
The kid was at college, and he was supposed to come back and get me all the information, and never got back to me, so.
We won't see it on Craigslist again, right?
Nah. Maybe in a landfill somewhere.
All right, okay. Right down this way. So he says he's going to junk it or just keep it. Are you satisfied how this comes up?
Oh, yeah. Definitely satisfied.
You think you think there was any attempt on his part just to foist this on you, or is you
No.
take him at his word that it's
I
an
just-
honest mistake?
It could be an honest mistake. I just think he, couldn't get the paperwork.
Yeah. Okay. Harvey?
Okay, when you make a deal with somebody, there has to be common sense about the deal, that the person needs to get the value of what they bought. And if you can't get the value of what you bought, then the judge can undo the deal. That's what happens when you can't register a vehicle or a watercraft. If you can't use it, the deal is frustrated.